Okay. All right. So welcome you all to March 26th meeting. I'm glad you all are here. As I've stated, I'm sure most of you are very eager for spring break. We're almost there. We have, I believe, one more meeting before that happens. But regardless, I'm always glad that all of you are here on time and attentive to the calendar and the schedule of all of our meetings. So let's get started. For any members of the public that are interested in viewing the agenda, the link is always up there on the front. I'm going to go ahead and then call this meeting to order officially at 12:04 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call then now to establish quorum. So Victoria is going to help us out with this again today. If I call out your name, just unmute yourself and say that you were here. So let's get to that. So Amend.
Here.
Thank you. Academic Support Club.
Here.
Active Minds.
Here.
All right, thank you. Alpha Gamma Sigma.
Here.
Armenian Students Association. Armenian Students Association. No. Business Coalition. Is Business Coalition here? No.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Caduceus Club. Is Caduceus Club
Here. Sorry, my microphone was off.
Oh, no worries. You know what? Let me go ahead and zoom in here. I apologize if it's a little bit small. CARP.
Here.
Catholic Student Fellowship. Catholic Student Fellowship. No. Chinese Students and Scholars Association.
Here.
Thank you. Christians on Campus.
Here.
Circle K International.
Here.
Club Italia.
Here.
Okay. College Leap.
Here.
Thank you. Cosmo Club.
Here.
Debating Society. Is Debating Society here today? No. Diagnos.
Here.
Thank you. First. First, are you here? No. Okay. French Club. Is French Club here? No. Is Green Lancer Club here?
Hi, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Melody from Catholic Student Fellowship. I'm sorry, my microphone wasn't working.
That's okay, Victoria. We could backtrack and put them as here, please. Thank you. Okay, but last call for French Club. Are you here? No? Okay, Green Lancer Club. Is Green Lancer Club here today? No? Okay, Haunting Hour. Haunting Hour, are you here?
Yes, Haunting Hour is here.
Yes, okay, got it. Let me scroll down. International Christian Fellowship.
Here.
Okay, InterVarsity Christian Fellowship.
Here.
Japanese Social Club. JSC. No. Lancer Motorsports.
Here.
Thank you. Mind and Meditation Club.
Here.
Okay. OMD Omicron Mu Delta.
Here.
Paralegal Association. Is Paralegal Association here? No. PCC Corporate Finance Club.
Here.
All right, thank you. Global Club. Global Club, are you here? No. Philosophy Club. Philosophy Club. No. Pi Club.
Here.
Okay. Pineapple Hospitality.
Here.
Pre-Law Club.
Here.
Psychology Club.
Here.
Puente Club. Is Puente Club here? Queer Alliance. Is QA here? No. Registered Nursing Club.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Rising.
Here.
Thank you. Saknus? Is Saknus here? Sally Lancier Fencing Club? Fencing Club? No. She Codes? She.Codes?
Here.
Ship? Is Ship here? Simba?
Here.
Society of Women Engineers, SWE?
Here.
Okay. SCTA?
Here.
Third Way Feminist Club?
Here.
Ujima Club? Ujima Club? No. And Veterans Club? Veterans Club? No? All right. Let me just go ahead, do a copy paste here and a little bit of math. I think we have quorum, but I'm terrible with numbers. So
Is there anyone here whose name we didn't call? Dana Club, is that you? Do you have Dan- Yeah, I think Dana Club's here. Do you have them marked as here?
So Dana Club, I've been meaning to talk to them because they tried to register past the deadline and we have to do something about that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked to them about it. Okay.
All right. Yeah, Victoria, we could just add a new line, please, and mark them as here. We can just have that done. All right. So with that said, thank you for all that. I know, it's typically a slog, right, having to get through 50-ish people, but thank you for bearing with me there. We do have quorum. So yes, we can move on with the meeting today. With that said, I would like to go ahead and now entertain a motion to adopt our agenda for March 26, 2021. Here it is right here. I've sent it to you in your emails as always earlier this week. If we scroll down, there is club chartering. Unfortunately, there is a club dechartering item. I'll talk more about that later on. And just some, discussion items that I want to go ahead and bring to you all. But seeing this, are there any questions, concerns, comments? No, yes. Okay. So I'd like to go ahead and if there's a first, we can move on to voting on this. Do I have a first to adopt the agenda for today?
Third way first.
Thank you, Third Wave. Do I have a second?
Amend the second.
Okay, amend seconds. Are there any opposed to adopting the agenda? You can unmute yourself and say so. Okay, any abstentions? All right, thank you. Motion passes. So we have our agenda for today. Next is the approval of minutes from the previous meeting. If I could click through here, there we go. So these are the minutes. I sent it to you earlier this week in your email as always. We did charter some clubs and we talked about Club Spirit Week, which was this past week. But yes, if there are no questions, comments, concerns about what happened at the last meeting, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion now to adopt the minutes from March 12th, 2021. Do I have a first?
Lancer Motorsports will first.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second? Second to adopt the minutes from the previous meeting, anybody?
Catholic Student Fellowship seconds.
Okay, thank you. Sophia, any opposed to that? Any abstentions? Nope. All right. Thank you for that. Our minutes from a previous meeting have been approved. So let's get right to business. So as always, I like to recognize that we are performing this meeting today on the native land of the Hahamanga tribe, and we just always want to honor those that came before us. Just a quick thing to throw out there, there is a funding meeting. The funding committee will meet later on today at 5 p.m. I see some of your faces that are part of that committee in this meeting, so please make sure to come. We'll be approving, I think, 2-3 requests. So that meeting is open to the public. If you click through this link, Or if you check the Google Calendar, there is a link to join that meeting there. But if you can't get to that, there's this event page on Landstripe and you can join using the link here. But that will happen at 5 p.m. today, this afternoon. Other thing too, all of you want to come back to campus, right? I'm pretty sure we all are tired of maybe being at home all the time and we want to be back at school. So I have good news for you about that. ITS, who is our IT department here on campus, and a couple of other groups here at PCC have actually went ahead and started this program to open up the Creveling Lounge for limited study hall and computer lab use. I believe most of you might have gotten the email already about this, but if not, this is the document. You can pause or take a screenshot if you need to take a look at this. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There you go. But they're going to be opening the Creveling Lounge with Wi-Fi, with computers to use. You know, I know a lot of us are at home and might not have a quiet space to study and concentrate and focus on our work. So this facility is going to be open to you students. The only big caveat with this is that they are only letting a limited number of people in at a time, and you must book an appointment to use the facility. Otherwise, you'll be turned away. So it's the same booking system that the counseling office uses. I believe if you've taken counseling before, it's called the SARS Anywhere appointment system. So you can book a appointment through that, and you can go ahead and use the computers in the lab in there. So this is the this is the general information. I'll pause here for a few more seconds if you need to take a screenshot or write some notes down. And here are the times Monday to Thursday, 8:15 to 9:15 or 1:15 to 2:15. So, okay. So there's that. What's on the second page here? Okay, just some more information about appropriate use of the facility. Parking is free in a certain lot. You're not allowed food or drinks inside the study hall. Right, you must provide your own study materials, all that stuff. There will be restrooms available. I believe there's restrooms in the lobby directly outside Creveling. So you'll be able to use those too if you need to. Okay, so there's that. Just want to go ahead and advertise that to you all because I know, again, we're hungry to come back to campus. So. All right, the next thing is Tna account statuses. Carrie and I will have a conversation later today or sometime this weekend to try and get that straightened. I haven't forgotten about that. Yes, for those of you who registered early and attended Club Rush, you still have that $50. It's just a process with the student bank to try and get that up and running for you all. I don't know where we are with signature cards, but I don't want to bring it up. But I just want to let you all know that yeah, that is in the back of my mind. It has been on the back of my mind ever since we announced it. So I have that data, I have that list right here. Carrie and I will work hard on getting you this money and giving you access to it soon. So yeah, all of that is here. Next item is I want to bring up is associated student selections are coming up. This happens every spring, very exciting, but I think particularly not only exciting, but also very important and very relevant to the situation that we're in right now, right? Student leadership, your voice and your needs and your comments are needed more than ever. You know, now that we're, you know, been in this pandemic for a year and there's and it has really laid bare a lot of the equity gaps and issues that we face at school and just general things that we face as students. Carrie will talk about it more in the next item during advisor comments, but I just want to bring it up here because I want to urge you all, if you think you have a leadership kind of quality in you, or even if you don't, I encourage you all to go ahead and put yourselves out there and try and run and campaign. You know, a lot of students, right, might not even know, and sometimes I have these interactions, but they don't even know I'm a student. They just think I'm someone that works at PCC, right? So it's important that I think you all go ahead and you know, represent the student voice and represent the student needs, and yeah, put yourselves out there. because we are all in this together. So yes, the forum is open on Lancer Life, and with that, I'll leave it up to Carrie for advisor comments.
Hey, you all. Thank you, Chris, for being proactive and sharing the information about the student clubs, because I know that's the student meeting and learning space. I know that's really important. Chris, can we pull up Lancer Life? So the only thing, go to the front page. So what I just really wanted to let folks know and emphasize is that we are now in elections. We just opened the cycle. So right now, we are now taking applications for people who are interested in running for student government. I really, really highly encourage folks to do that, to run for that. Kind of what you do is that there are 12 positions open on campus, open and available, and they cover all sorts of responsibilities. So if you are a business major, we have a person who does our business. He's our business affairs person. He runs all of our budgets. If you're into communications or graphic artists, we have our publicity person. If you're good at writing, that's a good place to be. Folks that deal with student affairs in terms of activities and campus-wide fun things. That's Alex. He's been here a couple times and he's been running Spirit Week. So that's open. We have the president kind of leading the whole shebang. Chris's position, if you've sat back here and thought, I could do that, please, 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 I encourage you to apply. And the first step is going to be going to the front page of Lancer Life. That's lancerlife.pasadena.edu. You want to go click, there's that little announcement there. You want to go to forms, click on forms. And then that really one with the really long title, registration of intent to run for Pasadena City College Associate Students Executive Board Spring 2021. You want to click on that. That's the first step. That's basically a form that says this is your intent to run. It talks a little bit about what you're going to do. If you do decide to run for associate students, I will tell you that it's probably a 15 to 20 hour a week commitment. There is a small stipend attached to it. Certainly not a lot, but enough. You will have to go through summer training. We have training twice a week during summer session, and that's on Wednesdays and Fridays. So it's mandatory that you attend all of them. If we are able to meet in person and conditions allow it, we try and take folks away on a residential retreat, and that's in the fall. And then you will work on campus unlimited time in the fall and spring, working for the students. So it's a fantastic experience. We do a lot of leadership development. You meet a lot of really great people. You get to sit on college-wide committees. So if you've ever wondered how are decisions made, you get to be part of that. For those of you that were kind enough to volunteer to be part of our spring budget allocation, that's the type of thing you do. You sit on these committees, you help make these decisions, you allocate money. You let people know what's coming up as a lot because we are reopening the campus. We're doing, we're now looking for, we lost our old food service folks, the people who ran the cafeteria, they're gone, they left, they couldn't make a go of it. So now we're going to have a new group come in. And now, these students who sit on these committees, particularly associate students, are going to have a really big say in what kind of food service comes back into that space. We are opening up the college again, and students who associate students sits on those committees and they voice their opinions and they say what you want as students. Next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to travel again, and we will take a group of students to Sacramento and they will go talk to legislators. We'll take them to Washington, D.C., and they'll talk to your federal Congress people and say, this is what we want. They're doing that currently. They're just doing it via Zoom. And that still will probably be true as to how we're going to hold a lot of our meetings. But most importantly, you represent students. So if you're really interested in doing community service, which this is, and really having a voice and direction in how the college is going, this is the place for you, especially if you want to learn leadership skills, communication skills, if you really want to be able to, affect change. So please take a look at that. That's where you find the form. It's a two-step process. You need to fill this form out. And once you've been verified by me, I will let you join the Canvas site, and the Canvas site will have all of the paperwork. There's 6 pieces of paper that need to be completed and submitted. And the deadline to submit all that is going to be April 26th, which is a Monday at noon. So you have quite a while to get all this paperwork done, but I just wanted to let you know and just really encourage you to take this back to your clubs. And also I'll be sending out an email, but if anyone is interested in having me come, I can do a really quick 5-minute presentation about what AS is and the requirements to run, because I really want to have more club representation in the associate students next year. So if anyone has a question, you can type it in the chat and I can help you out, but really want to encourage you to explore this option of leadership. And I'll tell you, it looks really great on your resume. It's really good thing to have on your resume. People love that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and I will want to add like just one comment here. I don't know who my successor is going to be. So next academic year is going to be a different person in this position. So it would be a good idea, if you all step up and run, and so I know who's going to be next, and I can give you, I can pass you on some of that information about how it's like to run ICC. And actually, that applies to all the positions. You are more than welcome to approach us during office hours whenever we have time. The current AS people, if you're interested in kind of getting an insight into what it's like or how it is to be an associate student, I encourage you all to reach out and inquire about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for price or comments. Thank you, Carrie. All right, public comment on non-agenda items. I am looking at the YouTube here, but I do not see anything. I do understand there is a lag though, so I will bring it up if there are any, but we'll move on for now. All right, any ICC announcements? Any upcoming events any of you all have you want to go ahead and advertise to the rest of the group? Don't be shy.
Yes, Catholic Student Fellowship would like to announce that at our next meeting on April 1st, which is a Thursday at 12:05 p.m., we will be accepting petitions for prayer. It is the Lenten season, and with Good Friday coming up and Easter and Palm Sunday, all of that, we would like to offer group prayer for anyone who has petitions, be it a sick family member, or maybe someone is struggling financially. Whatever it is, we welcome you.
All right, thank you, CSF. Is there anybody else that has an announcement? I know you're all really busy and stuff with activities, so I'm sure.
I have an announcement.
Go ahead.
First, formerly incarcerated Radical Scholars Team, they're not here today, but they are having an event, Revolutionary Mujeres. It's kind of like an ode to Women's Month, which it has been Women's History Month. So it's kind of just like closing it out. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube Live. There will be a registration link that you can find on their Instagram, which is @firstpcc. I'll drop it into the chat so everyone knows. And it's from 6 to 7:30. It's going to be really great, a really empowering thing. There's going to be a panel. Also, Third Wave will be there as well, giving a talk on intersectional feminism. So it'll be really great if anyone that wants to come out comes out. So I'll drop the Instagram in the chat right now, and I hope to see you all there.
All right, thank you so much, Third Wave. And yeah, I mean, for those of you who are doing activities, I know you're all ICC are a pretty tight group already, so you might know this, but you're all more than welcome to collaborate with each other. I know like Third Wave is speaking at, one of First events. You all can kind of, cross over, and I mean, that's what ICC is about, right? Having all of you kind of like work together to produce experiences and informative events for students. So, but I just wanted to throw that in there. But thank you, Third Wave, for that involvement and that communication on behalf of First. Is there anybody else that has an event coming up?
Hi everyone, this is Felicia from College Lead. So we are hosting an event called the Workplace Exploration Event on next Wednesday, March 31st. And we would bring 5 alumni speakers from the business communication as the major who would share about their experiences. And I'll send the details through email after the ICC meeting, and we hope you and your club members could take benefit as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, College Lead. One last person before we move on here. Is there anybody else that wants to?
Yeah, I would love to announce something. So for my other club, the Pre-Law Club, we're having a law school admissions panel on Tuesday. We're having schools such as Yale, University of Pennsylvania, UC Irvine, UC Davis, Southwestern, and Golden Gate Law School that are going to be represented. There's going to be an opportunity to not only hear from the panel, but to ask questions yourselves. So if you guys are ever interested in going to law school and are interested in hearing about the process, if that's even a possibility for you, I'd recommend attending. It's very rare to get an opportunity to speak to law schools, especially of the caliber of Yale and University of Pennsylvania. So if you're interested, definitely show up. It's on Tuesday. It's at 12 p.m.
All right. And with that, we'll go ahead and move on. A lot of really cool events happening. For those of you who are watching from the public, you can always find these, or you should be able to find these on Answer Life, and the links will be in there for you if you're interested in attending. Okay. All right, action items. So we have a couple of people to charter today. Unfortunately, some people still are not here. So we won't be going through this entire list. Just let me go ahead and double check here before I make a motion to charter everybody. Charter people for this today. So bear with me. But it looks like we're going to go ahead and charter Business Coalition because they are here. Green Lancer is not here, so no. Mind and Meditation Club. Yes. Sally Lancer Fencing Club. Okay, so we only have 2 clubs to charter today. If you know anybody in the rest of the group that is not here, please ask them to come because they can't officially operate as a club without being officially chartered. But with that said, one more club too, Dana Club. Carrie, you talked to them though, right? So we should be good to go in chartering them.
And we can let them be chartered.
Okay, so with that, I would like to now entertain a motion to charter Business Coalition, Mind and Meditation Club, and Dana Club for ICC Spring 2021. Do I have a first on that?
CSF first.
Thank you, Catholic Student Fellowship. Do I have a second? I'm sorry, there was a little...
Haunting Hour will second.
Okay, thank you, Haunting Hour. And we're going to go ahead and move to a roll call vote on this. So we're going to go ahead and I can ask Victoria to help me out. All right, so amend, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Academic Support Club?
Yes.
Active Minds?
Yes.
Alpha Gamma Sigma?
Yes.
We're going to skip Business Coalition because they're not chartered yet, but you will get to vote at the next meeting. So moving on, Caduceus Club. Caduceus Club, if you're still here. Okay, if you could just put a mark on that, Victoria, super quick, please, and then we'll come back to them. Carp?
Yes.
Catholic Student Fellowship?
Yes.
Chinese Students and Scholars Association?
Yes.
Christians on Campus?
Yes.
Circle K International?
Yes.
Club Italia? Club Italia?
Yes.
Thank you. College Leap?
Yes.
Cosmo Club?
Yes.
Okay, Diagnos?
Yes.
Let me scroll down. Haunting Hour?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. International Christian Fellowship?
Yes.
InterVarsity Christian Fellowship?
Yes.
Lancer Motorsports?
Yes.
All right, Mind and Meditation Club, you're going to vote next meeting. Omicron Mu Delta?
Yes.
Corporate Finance?
Yes.
Pi Club?
Yes.
Pineapple Hospitality?
Yes.
Pre-Law?
Yes.
Psychology Club?
Yes.
Registered Nursing Club?
Yes.
Rising?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me scroll down. She Codes?
Yes.
Simba?
Yes.
Society of Women Engineers?
Yes.
SCTA?
Abstain.
Abstain, okay. Third Wave Feminist Club?
Yes.
All right, thank you for that. And we're gonna wrap back around. Caduceus Club, are you still around?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize my microphone was off. Yes.
All right, thank you, Victoria, if you could help us record that. All right, so It looks like we have a majority. We have one abstention. But before I move on, I just want to go ahead and make sure, are there any abstentions are there any opposed to chartering these clubs? All right, any other further abstentions other than SCTA, Student California Teachers Association? Nope. All right. Well, congratulations. Business Coalition, Mind Meditation Club, and Dana Club. You are chartered for spring 2021. Thank you. All right. So next item, I probably should have put this first because, you know, it's the negative one, right? We want to talk about the bad news before we talk about the good news. But so these clubs are right on the cusp of having the 3 absences that, you know, is kind of the threshold for people to be dechartered. So if they're not here today, unfortunately at the next meeting we'll have to decharter them. So just to let you know that might be happening, unfortunately. You know, we can't do business if not everybody, if we don't have a majority of people here, so it's important that your club is here. So I won't be decharting people today. I just put this slide up here and I put this item on the agenda to hopefully scare you all straight, because I am keeping track and I am keeping tabs, and Victoria here is helping me keep really good records and really good data. So please make sure to come to these meetings. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here for most of you because most of you are really good and on time. But if you know anybody in these clubs, or you know, if you're on the threshold or you have, you know, 2 absences or 1.5 or whatever, you can always check the sheet. I send it out every week. Just please make sure you keep coming. We have 4 more meetings left. It's not a lot. Just please come. And I don't want to have this item, but we will if it comes to that point. All right, moving on then. So there's no action on that, Victoria, if you want to write that down for the minutes. But moving on to discussion items. So there was a little bit of a technical hiccup yesterday with the last day of Spirit Week. The link with the movie wasn't working. So what we've done is we've extended the link to work until today. So I'll actually go ahead and paste this in the chat. Don't watch it right now during the meeting, but whoops. But let me go ahead and grab it here for you all real quick. But this link is live right now. If you're free after the meeting and you just want to wind down on a Friday, this is the link to go ahead and watch the movie. It is extended until until midnight tonight. So get on it while you can. All right. So any questions about that? Anything before we move on? It will ask you to log into your Lancer Point ID. I believe that's how it authenticates that you're a PCC student. So just log in if it asks you to, and then you'll be able to stream it for free. All right, so a debrief of Spirit Week. I want to hear from you all. How did it go? For those of you who came, how did you like it? What did you enjoy about it? For those of you who
I think Alex did a really good job. This is Catholic Student Fellowship. It brought people together, which I think was the purpose that the gentleman who created it said. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to give props to Alex too. He was kind of the one that made me really want to hold this. I'm not a party person myself, so he's that, he has that personality, so he kind of pushed me to have all these events for you all. So I'm glad it happened. Any other thoughts? Anything about what maybe you want to see in the future? If we can, ICC does have money, right? So it might be in the cards for us in the future to continue to have these. So your feedback is valuable. Anybody else want to chime in? Carrie, do you have any thoughts?
No, and just to let us, I'd say let us know if there are things that you think your club, we could do to help your club be more active. I know we tried this escape room, which I was glad about 20 of you went, and I think it was a fun thing. If there are things that, will help your club build more capacity, there are a whole host, it's like a new cottage industry of people who do activities via Zoom. So, we could pull a comedian, we could pull, a magician. I know Alex in the activity committee is looking at doing some yoga and some other physical activities, kickboxing, just as a way that's something that your club would find as enticing to do. So if there are things that you think would work for your club, just email Chris or myself, because, we're in a really unique situation in that we have a little bit of money. Next year's not going to be quite the same next year because revenue is down. It's going to be a lot tighter. But now we're okay because we're coasting off of the money that came in last year. So we have some more money. So if you think of anything, let us know. We're giving you a unique opportunity to spend some money, and we're willing to spend it. So let us know.
I have a question, Carrie. This is Junie from RN Club. I just wanted to know, for example, like this watching movie, is this for only the representative or my whole club? Anybody in my club could watch it?
It's the entire college campus. Faculty, staff, students, share it as wide. All you need to do is you just need to log in with your PCC email. So if you have friends who are not PCC students, they can't watch it, but you could stream it for them. You could turn it on and you can start a watch party via Zoom or Discord or however you want to do it. But yeah, we've got this movie, and anyone on campus, please use it because we're paying for it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Organize it as a fun night for your club.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and thinking about it too, going into marketing a little bit, I think it was a little bit unclear, and it's a little bit, and maybe my fault for not messaging this entirely correctly, but all of these events weren't limited to just club members. They were actually open to all PCC students. So maybe in the future, I'll maybe classify it as like a club mixer type event where, students can come and talk to club people or talk to club officers, but also, for club officers to kind of get to know each other a little bit more, especially now that we're remote and it's hard to kind of have that interactivity online. But I'll keep that in mind. I'll put it in mind.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, as Carrie said, this link is valid for any PCC student or staff members. So you can send it to all your friends, all your professors if you're close to them, and then they can all watch and have fun and have a good Friday wind down, as I'm sure you all deserve. So any other thoughts, ideas, feedback? I appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on then. So going back to the topic of training, we have 3 optional workshops left. I was going to type it in here, but the text was going to be too small. So I'm going to just open the Google Calendar and show you all. So these 3, oh no, this is too small. Can you all see that? Is it okay? Let me see if I can zoom in.
Chris, let me tell folks something. When you're looking at your screen and it's too small, go up to the very top where it's you see the green bar and it says view options. It says you're viewing Christopher Tung's screen, view options. When you drop that down, zoom ratio, mine is saying fit to window, but if I blow it up to 300%, I can read it and I can actually move it around so I can see it. So if you're ever in a situation where you can't see what's on the screen, go to your view options and change your ratio. If you didn't know that. Some of you do, some of you don't.
All right, thank you, Carrie. But yes, I'm sorry for the cutoff, but I'll expand the events. So this is today, the 26th. And if I go into April here, we have the first ICC Optional Training. So this is how to market your club. It's going to be Friday, April 9th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So that is going to be in regards to how to brand your club, how to market your club, and how to communicate, events and comings and goings about your club. So that is a pretty valuable workshop to have. So please mark it in your calendar. Again, I always send a link out in the email if you want a static link for this, and the Zoom link is here. The second training that's coming down the pipeline is this one right here. So remember, if you're running for associate students, applications are due April 26th. So we have one training slash roundtable here right before the due date. So this, I think, is going to be one that all of you, if you're interested in running, are going to be interested in. It's called the President's Roundtable. Our Associated Students President, Mackenzie Rivera, will be there to kind of talk and have a heart-to-heart to all of you about what it's like to be an AS, how we've grown and changed as, you know, students being a part of AS. So I recommend you attend that workshop and meeting if you're interested in running for Associated Students. And that is going to be Friday, April 23rd, after the ICC meeting from 2 to 3 p.m. No, you had a question?
Yeah, that marketing meeting for clubs, is that available? Is that open to anybody who wants to come? I've got a business team for my club who is technically not part of, like, you know, the formal leadership of the club, but they would want to go to that for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, as many people as possible can come. I mean, you can invite non-club people too, but I don't know how helpful the information is going to be. But you can spread the Zoom link out. We just want to get information out there. That's the point of these trainings.
Thank you.
Anybody else before I move on here? No? Okay. And then we have one last training the last day of April, and this is going to be how to host virtual events. So I know all of you, you know, it's not a regular semester. We can't have parties and classrooms and group meetings and go out together. So this training is to kind of help you and give you some ideas about some of the things you can do online virtually. Alex, who is the person that helped run the Club Spirit Week this week, will be there to talk about, you know, the different platforms that are out there that you can kind of connect with students on, and the different types of activities you can do. He knows more than me, but he's done Jackbox games, which is like a collaborative kind of party game you can play online. You don't have to buy the game, just one person hosts it. There's also Scribble.io, which is like Pictionary, but he'll talk about it. He'll give you some ideas and some ways you can kind of continue to have events and socialize with your club members. And that will be that training there. So any questions about the dates, the contents, who can come?
Yeah. So for the one that's on the 23rd, that's, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's the one that's from 2 to 3. If we're working, how can we get a hold of, is it going to be recorded or is it?
We can record it, but being that these workshops are kind of like, you don't have to go, like we're just really only having one set time for them. Because, you know, the people that are hosting them have limited availability, right? They're busy students. But if you can't go, we'll record it and we'll post it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. With that said, I just want to go ahead and clarify how you can kind of track your training and what I mean by optional, because I know it's a little bit unclear maybe how I phrase it, and I just want to make sure. So if I go ahead and skip up here to this screenshot, oh no, it's small again. Let me see if I can maybe pull it up on Master Life. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Now it's bigger. So what I mean by optional is that, okay, so this is required, right? So you have to check both of these boxes for this main checkbox to be done. And these were the trainings that were doing funding, and we talked about how to use LanceLife. So those were required ones, but those dates have passed, so don't worry about that. But we have these down here. So this is what I mean by optional. If you check 2 out of 3 boxes, this main checkbox will be cleared. So you just pick 2 of them to go and you're good. You don't have to go to all 3. You just have to go to 2. So that's what it means by optional. You just pick the ones you want to go to and you go to them. So yeah, see club publicity, virtual events, and roundtable. So once you fill 2 out of 3, you're good. Yeah, and that's the idea behind that. I mean, you can attend all 3 if you want to. There's nothing, you know, there's nobody to say no. I would actually recommend you attend all 3 because I think there's really good content in all of them. But if you can't go, just make sure, you know, you have an alternative person to go that they can give you the information after, or like I said, we'll record it, but don't rely on that because I want I wanted to be an interactive kind of session, right, where you can ask questions, and especially during the President's Roundtable, right? I think it's important for you to ask those personal insight questions so that you can, if you're interested in running for AS, you get a good idea of what it's like. Okay. So any questions about the calendar or the paths before I move on? Yes, no, I know you all are quiet, but okay. Carrie, anything you want to add?
No.
All right. So last thing here, and I always want to give space for this, is if there are any remaining questions left about, especially for those of you that didn't attend the required training about funding or Lancer Life, you can ask them now. I'm sure another person will have the same question. So
Chris?
Yes.
Someone in the chat asked where can they access the funding guidelines and the how-tos?
Oh, okay. I sent that out in the email on Monday, but here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and drop the link in the chat for that right now, so you have those documents.
And actually, oh, go ahead.
Do we need a review of that? Do people want to go over it super briefly? Is that maybe what I'm hearing? For Lancer Life or funding, or which one do you want to pick one?
I do want to say one thing also is that we've been starting to see folks submit things for funding, and I think that's fantastic. But a couple things to remember. The college does not allow you to purchase gift cards. If you are helping out or supporting or saying thank you to a speaker, you're going to have to find that money out of your trust and agency account, or you're going to have to kind of pass the hat and take it out of your own funds. You can go ahead and do a contract and pay a speaker as a way of saying thank you. If we do a contract and you pay them, there's some paperwork that needs to happen. But if you went to the financial training, you'll have found out that contracts need to be done in advance so that we can get them signed off by the appropriate people in time for the event to happen. Because I'm starting to get some emails. People are like, oh, okay, we bought the gift cards. How do we get reimbursed? And I'm like, no, I think we were very clear with your advisors. And we were very clear with anyone who went to any of the financial trainings that we do not support gift cards, because that's considered a gift of public funds. So for those of you who are contemplating what you're going to do with events, please keep that in mind, and please go through the funding steps that Chris has. So that's why you were all supposed to go to that funding meeting, because we have two clubs that are kind of now going to have to struggle to figure out how to pay for things because they went ahead and did things that we're not able to support. We're just not, the college will not do that. So please be aware of that. And if you have specific questions, I'll be hanging around afterwards and we can go to a meeting room and we can discuss it.
So I will say the cardinal rule, well, there's two. One, the cardinal rule is go to training, because Carrie and I don't want to have to answer, right, like 50 different people with the same thing, and we're tired by the end. But the other thing too, and this is very important, do not spend money without asking us first. I mean, that's kind of like, I think, common sense, but like Carrie said, we are kind of in a situation now where people have spent the money and are expecting that we are reimbursing them. That is not the way to go. I mean, I feel bad, right, when people spend money out of their pockets and we say no, but right, like, you should approach us first, basically, if you're planning on spending funds, and we can give you a direct answer, especially Carrie and Ms. Sharon, who is our bookkeeper, if this is a yes or a no. So just make sure you ask first before you spend. I don't want you all to be out of pocket cash.
Wait, I just want to clarify. So when you say that it doesn't support like giving gift card or whatever, so even with the club raise money, we cannot use a gift card to supplement? Or is it the other one that you're talking
So
about?
the club raise money comes out of your trust and agency account, and that you can do.
Oh, okay. That's what I just want to.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But we have other clubs that are asking ICC to pay for their gift cards, and we can't do that.
Okay, got it. Got it.
ICC right here, this is when you're turning in that form on Lancer Life. TNA, this is gift cards. and prizes.
Okay.
Notice how it bypasses all of these procedures, right? But it's only if you have money in your trust and agency account, which is like the bank account that's held at the student bank.
Got it.
So make sure, right, you have money in there, and you should be good to go pulling, whatever you need out of it.
All right. Thank you.
This is on the document I sent in the chat too. So make sure if you need like a hard copy or you need to print it or whatever, just click through and then you can have it. I think I sent this out on Monday, but I'll send it out next Monday again, and I'll just keep sending it out so you always have it in your inbox if you need it.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
I have kind of I don't know if it's a offbeat question, but in terms of the TNA, that those that did Club Rush, the $50, so it's not in there right now. Is that what I heard, or did I mishear?
Not in there yet because we have to. We're trying to figure out how to get you all to do signature cards.
Okay, all right. So I did hear that correctly. And then, I'm sorry, you might have mentioned it, Chris. Thank you, Carrie, for that. But is there like a place to go to see how much of what we have?
You just have to call.
If you're a new club, you have no money.
If you're a new club, you have no money. But if you think you have money or you want to just check, you can call them. But they will not give you that information. Actually, a club emailed me, I think today or yesterday, running through this. But they will not give you that information unless you are on the signature card. And I don't want to get too much into that, but
okay.
Yeah, it's like the bank. I don't want to disparage anybody, but the bank has its own ways. Let me just put it like
right. That makes
so
sense.
I can try as hard to kind of create the most efficient process and get all the information out there. But if they're holding up the line because they need authorization, that's their process. I can't really change that, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? I know we're a little bit short on time here, so I'll go ahead and move on. But if there's one last question, I can take that. If not, I'll go ahead and move on to the last item here. No, yes? Okay. All right, last item. And Henry, thank you for waiting as always. I feel bad about leading you to the last item. Maybe I'll move you up in the future. But last item is constitutions, and Henry and I will actually have a meeting next week to talk about this more in depth. But I understand a lot of people have been approaching me about their constitutions saying, we already met with Henry, how come my name is still on the email list? Or I thought I fixed it already. How come, you're still asking me to do this? I think that's more of maybe a data management issue on my side. So I apologize if there's any confusion. If you met with Henry and you made changes and you uploaded your stuff to Lancer Life, don't worry. I'll actually communicate with Henry better starting next week to get like a grip on, the data that I have, and just to cross out people that have gone through the process already to revise their documents. But there are still a few people that need to go ahead, and if you're on this list, I recommend you talk to Henry at the very least to get a confirmation that he has reviewed your stuff and that you're good. And if not, to schedule a meeting with him so that you can go ahead and make those changes. So is that clear? I know like I have a list, but that list might not be accurate. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Any questions about constitutions or concerns, or Henry, do you want to throw anything in?
Well, I'll just throw in that to make it clear everyone what the process is. On the back end, the constitutions need to be reviewed and then approved by the Supreme Council, which handles this form of pseudo-legal stuff for AS. So we are about halfway through reviewing them. We've already reviewed them and have the notes on these new clubs, including these clubs here, except for the fencing club, I believe. So if you want to know information on your constitutions, we have that information ready, and I think we'll be able to send those out to you soon. I'll be able to talk with Chris about this. They just still need to be officially approved, and then you should be all good. And then we just need to handle cleaning out the list of showing who's approved and who's not. So that's just what needs to happen.
Yeah, thank you for that, Henry. It's just a matter of building up our database. I know it's really tough, especially this semester because we're remote and you can't just like walk up to the office and say, I want to meet with you now to talk about this. But the thing is, it's painful now, but in the future, once we have this database of constitutions, the idea is that when a club re-registers, like, I don't want to pick on it, but like A2 Man re-registers, right? And they already have a constitution with us. We don't need to ask them to write a whole new document. We just use that document and say, this is, you know, this is their constitution for their club. And if they want to make any changes in the future because the club has changed or whatever, they are free to do that. But we are building up that database now so that in the future, when most of you, because I know a lot of clubs are returning clubs, come back, you can just reuse those same documents and they'll be approved and good and kosher. So I know it's a little bit challenging right now, but we'll get through it. Henry and I, like I said, we'll meet next week and we'll work through that process and then talk about it. But are there any questions to how this works? I know Henry's our Supreme Council person, so he's the go-to for all that. Sophia?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask, is there a time frame that it'll be completed, or is there like a deadline?
Good question. I haven't set a deadline for myself, but that's the conversation Henry and I will have next week, alongside some other technical ICC things. So, I mean, I think I've ran ICC pretty smoothly.
Oh no, yeah, no complaints.
No, but you know, I just also want to make sure that it's under the supervision and under the correct procedures as brought by the Supreme Council. And that's something that I might not have followed 100%. And that's something that I'm going to meet with Henry next week to have an in-depth discussion about. Because yes, maybe on the surface to you all, it's good, but to me, I don't want to get in trouble on the back end if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's pretty much it. But you all are good. It's more of a me thing.
Okay, and then I just want to throw out there, thank you to you, Chris, and thank you to you, Henry, for all the work that you're doing. Appreciate everyone's patience. Miss Carrie, you're awesome. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Okay, it's 1 o'clock, so we are right on time here. I would like to then now entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 1 o'clock p.m. March 26th. Do I have a first?
CSF first.
Catholic Student Fellowship first. Do I have a second?
Lancer
Philosophy
Motorsports.
Club.
Lancer Motorsports second. Who's that last?
Philosophy Club.
Philosophy Club thirds. Any opposed to adjourning? Any abstentions? Unmute yourself and say so. All right. You are all free to go. Meeting has been adjourned. Thank you for coming. Few things before you all hit leave. If you are late, I didn't read the chat and pay attention to your, I'm here. So let Victoria, who's our secretary, know if you're late. Just send her direct message in chat so she can mark you as late. If there are any questions that you have, yes, stick around and I'll be here, but that's the one thing I just wanted to mention. Our next meeting is April 9. See you there.
Chris, hi, can I ask a question?
Yes. Give me a moment because we're still live on YouTube and I don't think you all want that to be broadcast. So just give me a moment here while we'll take us off.
Is anyone from SHIP here? Okay, how about PCC Global Club?